DBMS languages. DBMS languages are the specific instructions or the commands that are given by the users to the database to perform particular operation. There are four languages. So the first one is called as data definition language, popularly known as DDL. The second one is data manipulation language, popularly known to be DML, and the third one is data control language, DCL, and the fourth one is transaction control language, TCL. In this beginner series, I'll be focusing more on the DDL and DML. In the intermediate series, I'll be focusing much more on the DCL and TCL. As a first year or a second year UG student, I guess DDL and DML should be more than enough. So moving on to DDL, DDL is abbreviated as data definition language. So it usually contains the commands that are used to create a schema or a table in the database, and DDL is used not only for creating tables, it is also used for creating indexes, constraints, schemas in the database. So by using DDL we can almost create the structure or the architecture of the required database. So it can also be used to create the skeleton of the entire database. So there are many commands in DDL. Now I'll quickly walk you through the popular commands. So first one is called as create. So using this create command, you can create a table and its column along with the required data type. As discussed earlier in the schema topic, each column in the customer table had a particular data type associated with it. For example, customer name had varchar, which is the string data type associated with it, and the customer ID had a int data type, which is the integer or the number based data type associated with it. So create is used for creating the tables. Alter is used to alter the columns, that is to add or delete a column in the particular. So usually a database contains multiple tables and these commands can be used on the entire database. Rename. So rename changes the name of the table. For example, I create a table named customer. Instead I want to change its name in the future as some other name. So I can use a rename command to change it. Drop. So drop in DBMS is used to permanently remove a database object. It actually deletes a table along with the data. It does not delete a particular column or a particular row. Whatever action has been performed on the particular database, it cannot be retrieved or it cannot be undone. For example, say I delete a customer table, I cannot retrieve it back using a drop command. So once I have deleted a table using drop command, it can never be retrieved in the future. Truncate command. So truncate command is used to remove particular data in a table without deleting the entire data. For example, you can delete some records in the table while keeping the entire table's architecture same. But in drop, you are deleting the entire table. So one should know the difference between drop and truncate. And comment. So comments are used to add comments in the database. So for example, you say for example a large application is being built and more than 2 or 3 developers are involved in building the particular application. Some lines of codes say it will be written by person A and it won't be known to the person B who will proceed from the next line. So in that cases, writing a command by the person A will help person B to read the commands and go through the commands, and then he can understand the context of the lines of code written by A, and then he can proceed to go to the next set of lines. So that is called as comments, and that is why comment command is used. Moving on to DML. DML is the very popularly used set of commands, and it is obviously the commands that are used more. So DML commands is the set of commands that are used to manipulate and access the data in a database. So in DDL, what we saw was we are just creating a database. We are creating the schema, we are creating tables, we are altering them, we are renaming them, and we are deleting them. But in DDL, as you would have noticed, we are not accessing any of the database. We are not updating or we are not accessing any of the database. So in DML usually we perform all the manipulation operations. So there are many commands in DML. I have chose the most popularly used command. So select, it is used to retrieve data from a database. Say for example we have a big database of around 1000 rows. So in that case I want to find the phone number of a person named Ramesh. I write a command in a SQL query. I say select the person with this phone number, or I say select Ramesh and the phone number associated with them. So by that command I can retrieve the phone number or the name of any person. So insert is obviously, as the name suggests, it is used to insert data into the table. Update, again the name itself suggests we can update the existing data in a particular table. Delete is also used to delete all the records. Moving on to DCL, it is the commands that are used to provide access for the users to the database. Usually, the database contains confidential information. Everyone cannot be given access to the database as it is a threat to the security of the application. So, DCL is used to give access for the particular database to any user who requests access. So, we have only two commands in DCL. One is grant and one in another is revoke. So in a grant command, it is used to give user access privilege to a particular database, and in a revoke, it is used to revoke or withdraw permission from the particular user. And transaction control language, this is the last and the fourth language of DBMS languages. So this set of commands that help the users to manage transactions within the database. So there are two popular commands in this language. One is commit and another is rollback. So commit is usually used to save, or in DBMS term we call it as a commit the transaction to a particular database. Rollback is used to restore or roll back a transaction to the previous version. We can go to the previous version of the database. Say for example, we have some failure or we have some problem in a database and we are unable to save it. At least our hope is that we need to get back to the latest safer version. So in that case, rollback is popularly used.